Welcome to another 5-minute recap on religious studies. We are exploring the exam board Eduqas and we are looking at foundational Catholic theology and in particular origins and meanings. We are going to be looking at St. Augustine today and his ideas about creation. So your aim at the end of this session is to be able to explain how St. Augustine expresses the idea of creation. So let's get going. Firstly, St. Augustine, bit of context about him. He's a famous Catholic bishop, and one of the most important sources of knowledge for Augustine is the Bible. And he believes that the Bible is the Word of God. He believes that God, as an omniscient being who knows everything, reveals ideas and information through that holy book. This therefore means that the Bible does not make mistakes. So it also means that if you want to find out truths about yourself or the universe, the Bible is going to be the best place to look. And that's exactly what Augustine does. He opens up the Bible and he begins with the very first book. That book happens to be Genesis 1, and it tells you all about creation. And the very opening lines in Genesis 1, it says that the universe is formless and void. This means that there is nothing. So Augustine knew at the beginning of creation, according to God, there is absolutely nothing. However, God then speaks. He uses his voice and he creates everything from that. And this is seen in Genesis when it says, "Let there be light." It literally says, God said, "Let there be light." And all of a sudden there was. So that's where Augustine's at. He's reading the Bible and he's finding out that creation started off as absolutely nothing, and God brings everything through his words. So breaking this down a little bit further for you, Augustine said that the Bible makes it clear that there was nothing before God created everything. And here's your quote to go with it. It was formless and void. That means there was nothing there. Augustine also says that the Bible makes it clear that God didn't use anything to create everything. He only uses his words. There is no pre-existent material. So when God said, that is literally showing you that God makes everything purely through his words. And finally, Augustine says that the Bible makes it clear that God created everything in the universe. And that's shown when in Genesis it says God created the heavens and the earth. So there is nothing, God creates everything through his words, and when we say everything, we mean everything, heavens and the earth. So St. Augustine then, he uses a special phrase to summarize all of these beliefs about Genesis 1. And since God created everything from nothing, the phrase he uses is Creatio ex nihilo. And what that literally means is creation from nothing. And he writes about this in Confessions chapter 7. He says, "Out of nothing you created heaven and earth." And unpacking that quote, what it's saying is that there was nothing and God creates everything. And that is known as Creatio ex nihilo. Now, Creatio ex nihilo has some big implications. So we can unpack it a bit more and we can find out that it teaches us that God creates all the universe from nothing. We can find out that it shows us that God did not use any pre-existent material to create the universe because nothing existed before God made it. We also learn some key terms here. Creatio ex nihilo reveals that God is omnipotent. He's all-powerful since he created the whole universe using only his words. It also reveals that God is eternal. He's forever. He has existed before the universe was created and he'll be there long after it. And finally, it reveals that God is transcendent. This means he's above and beyond time and space. God was there before the universe, so he must be beyond it. And that enabled him to create everything out of nothing. Now, for this session, you should be able to look at these keywords below and test your knowledge. If you take each of these ideas and write a sentence about it, and you can link it to how St. Augustine views creation and his ideas about creation, then you know that you've been successful. If you find them a little bit tricky, I would go back through this video and then I'd return to these keywords and then see if you can write a bit more about them. If you're feeling confident, you're feeling happy with that, then I would move on to look at some example questions and you could plan these out or try them for yourselves. Whatever you do, good luck and thank you for listening.